Hello dear friends, in today's episode we will go to a place on the west coast of the island of Ibiza. It is with great pleasure that I present to you Santa Eulària de Riu. Santa Eulària de Riu is a coastal town on the southeastern coast of the Spanish island of Ibiza. The best time to visit is from June to October. The second biggest municipality in the island of Ibiza, Santa Eulària de Riu, has a lot of options that attract the tourist year after year, from beaches of all kinds to original flea markets. Santa Eulària de Riu, which in English means Santa Eularia of the river, receives its name for the river located there and to honor Santa Eulària, a Catalan saint. This river is the only one in the whole island and, although it is dry nowadays, it was very important in the past because it made the land fertile. This amazing town located in the southeast of the island is crowned by the Puig de Missa peak, where there is a church fortress. You can already appreciate this fortress when you are on your way from Ibiza to Santa Eulària, located on the top of a hill 52 meters high. This church was built in 1562 and it is a must-see monument if you are in Santa Eulària. The Puig de Missa peak was declared National Scenic Site in 1952 and afterwards it received the appointment of Asset of National Interest. You will be delighted by the amazing views on the top of it. And you can also take a nice walk on its surroundings and visit the cemetery located next to it. In this area, next to the church, you can find the Barão Museum, Casa Museo Barão in Spanish, dedicated to the Catalan Impressionist painter Eularia Barão. In this museum you can find a wide collection of its paintings, that stands out for its colors and that captures the landscape, streets, market and people of Ibiza. In this peak we can also find the Ethnography Museum of Ibiza, a typical rural house where there is a wide collection of traditional things, dresses, jewelry and musical instruments, among others. By visiting this museum, you will discover the traditional and rural lifestyle of Ibiza. If you are a golf lover, then Santa Eulària is your place. This town is the only one in Ibiza where you can find a golf course. In this area you can also practice several sports and activities. On the other hand, you can find a great coastline full of nice beaches and coves. One of the best coves you find there are Es Figueral, Cala Boix, Cala Llonga, Cala Nova and Cala Llonga, among others. Santa Eulària is the place to go if you want to appreciate the traditional and rural life of Ibiza and you if are looking for something more relaxed. To find the best hotels in Santa Eulària de Riu and around the world, we've built TravelMyth, the innovative hotel search engine with a wide range of category filters, from luxury hotels in Rhode Island to hotels with rooftop pool in Hong Kong. TravelMyth is the best place to get hotel recommendations based on your interests. The town, at the center of the town on the Playa de España, is the Ayuntament, Town Hall, which is now one of the last historical buildings of the town. The present building, which has been renovated, dates from 1795 and reflects the typical architecture of the period on the island. Nowadays the building is less functional as a town hall and is used with a civic representative purpose. In front of the Ayuntament is a small square which has a fountain with a stone surround which faces the busy main street of Cara Saint Jaume. Behind the fountain is a stone monument, erected by the city of Palma, Mallorca to thank and honor the local fishermen who, on January 17, 1913, rescued victims of the shipwrecked steamboat Mallorca which had run aground on a reef near the rocky inlet of Redona at Punta Arabi. The town streets run grid-like from the Playa de España, with the Cara Saint Jaume running west to east. The Cara de Sant Vincent runs parallel. One street back from Cara Saint Jaume with the western end of Playa de España. This street is pedestrianized and is filled with tavernas and restaurants. The Paseo de Esalamra is an attractive thoroughfare which runs south from the Playa de España down to the seafront. This boulevard has a tree-lined central pedestrianized area with gardens. In the summer this shady Ramblas is lined with market stalls selling jewelry, sarongs, tie-dye tie garb and trinkets of all kinds. At the southern end of Puig de Missa is Santa Eulària's harbor front. With views of the bay, the river is called Rio de Santa Eulària. It is more of a small stream and only ever becomes a raging torrent following very heavy rainfall. The source of the river is below the 342-meter-high Puig de Missa close to Sant Miguel. The river then meanders for 17 kilometers through the countryside to the sea at the western end of the town. A small way inland from the mouth of the river there is a small triple-arched bridge, the Pont Vell. The bridge crosses the rocky valley and is claimed to have been built by the Romans as part of the imperial road-building schemes on the island between 200 BC and AD 400, although the bridge's earliest mention is in a document of 1720. The river is also the only one of its kind in the Balearic Islands, and is fed by several small tributaries, notably the Torrent de la Bridja, which originates at the northern village of Sant Joan de la Bridja. The parish church of Santa Eulària, to the west of the town center is the hill called Puig de Missa. The hill is 52 meters above sea level and its summit is dominated by the Església de Puig de Missa. The church is dedicated to Saint Eulalia. The path to the church spirals up around the hillside before arriving in a courtyard beside the church cum fortress. The church is thought to have been built in 1568, although it is recorded that there was a chapel dedicated to the saint as far back as 1302. Despite the huge natural advantage of constructing the church on this hilltop, the small community of Santa Eulària employed the skills of military designer Giovanni Calvi to fortify the church you see here today. Calvi had a rounded bastion constructed in the style of the island's many watchtower. Although the church's bastion is solid and has no internal guardrails, the church's nave roof is higher than the bastion, which restricted the range and scope of any cannon placed on the bastion, although it is thought that at one time the roof may have been lower than the bastion. The porch of the church, added in the 18th century, is larger than most on the island and stands separate from the main church building. It has multiple pillars and rounded arches, which has been compared to the Moorish style of architecture, and this does compare well with a mosque and its prayer hall still seen on mainland Spain. The porch is probably the newest part of this church. On the west elevation of the church there is a small chapel which is topped with a plain stone dome. Complete with a lantern, this chapel is an addition to the original church, and is entered through a ponderous arch bored through the massively thick walls. The interior is square and rather small, with the dome above supported on squat arches over each corner. The lantern above has stained glass lights. There is another similar chapel on the opposite wall which gives the nave a footprint in the shape of the crucifix. There is a gilded altarpiece which was brought and installed from Segovia in 1967. The rest of the church is sparse and has been heavily restored due to the extreme damage done to the church during the Spanish Civil War. Thanks for watching till the end.